In the name of Allah, Bismillah. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum. Today I wanted to make a short video about marriage in Islam. Now, marriage is something that you know we can see in different cultures, different countries. You know, majority of people do believe in the idea of marriage, and they call it, in many countries, like in the US, tying the knot, which means, you get married, you get settled down, you start raising a family, you start raising, kids, children, and you basically live with you're living with your significant other, right? The wife, the husband, they're living together in the same house, and they are uh, basically together. So now my this video is going to be specifically about Islam and what is marriage. What is marriage in Islam, and how does one get married? How is it? How does it differ from other religions, different cultures, different customs? How does it? What are the main differences? So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, uh, marriage is actually, in Islam, the bond that we have, as in order to be able to have a family, to be able to raise a family, one has to get married in order to begin this building process. So, how does one get married in Islam? Well, it is actually, Islam is the religion of purity, so everything is going to be pure. So what we see in other cultures, um, in other religions, other ways of life, actually does not is not something that is necessarily positive, because of the evils that can easily ensue. So in Islam, we believe in keeping society pure and avoiding falling into sin, falling into fornication or adultery. So there are steps to take. So, for instance, many people might ask, what is the ruling on dating? You know, dating before marriage. Now, dating, if what you mean is eating dates, you know, freshly ripe dates, who doesn't like dates? That's good, right? We all love dates. So I'm dating, I'm meeting my dates. Oh no, you meant dating as in seeing a woman before marriage. No, that's not allowed. It's not allowed. And I'm going to tell you why it's not allowed. And I'm going to explain to you the beauty of it and the wisdom behind it. So, dating, as we see, is actually a form of deception, because many people who date are not truly acting like themselves. And as a matter of fact, this is all kind of a whole appearance scheme. If you think about it, the man looks, you know, is wearing his best, clothes. He's looking good. And the woman also, she has a lot of makeup. She's wearing, specific clothes in order to for her for her date to be, impressed, right? And this is all that it boils down to is appearances, right? So the person who meets the woman, you know, when they are dating, he's not truly himself, and neither is the woman. They both on their best behaviors, and they don't, let the other know about their flaws of character, about, what's wrong with them. They just speak about, they just want to project that kind of, you know image that is not uh, entirely reliable, because of the fact that, they are kind of lying, in order to basically to further their goal and their agenda, and in which case can be bad to begin with, right at the start. For instance, some, you know people who are dating, especially in the West, they do this with an agenda to commit fornication. May Allah protect us. So it's completely not allowed, right? It's absolutely forbidden. So, but they do this knowingly, because this is what they do, what they're doing, right? This is just a way for them to impress the other, so much so that they would actually agree to, as they call it, as they put it, take it to the next level, which is the level of sin, which is not allowed. Furthermore, when people are dating, usually alcohol is involved, right? And they buy and they drink, whatever alcoholic beverages they have. That's also forbidden in Islam, right? You're not allowed to drink alcohol. So, by the way, the ones who do this, they do this with an agenda, because the reason why they are buying them, alcoholic beverages, which is not allowed at all, is so that they would commit evil deeds with them, because alcohol, we all know what it does to someone. It destroys somebody's mind. It beclouds one's judgment. It messes you up. So this is why they do this, right? It's a way to trick them, so that they would actually commit fornication, the man or the woman, the one who wants this to happen, this filthy, disgusting act. So it's not allowed at all. So dating is wrong, because it's not the real you. It's just someone you want to be. You're trying to be on your best behavior, but you know that this is not truly who you are. So you're just trying to, you know, these people, they're just trying to end up, in some place that is not good. So dating is not good anyway, and it does not, lead to successful marriage anyway, because of how everybody is lying. Nobody is truly, you know, honest with each other. So why going through this stage, since it won't lead to nowhere? So marriage is actually the first order of business in Islam. There's no premarital, um, how do you call it, relationship any kind. Not just no kind of intimacy whatsoever. Nothing short of fornication can happen. So you don't meet the woman, by the way. You meet the man. You meet the father, the guardian. And why? Because a man knows a man. This is how it's supposed to be. Back in the days when societies were pure, the man would go and ask the father for his daughter's hand in marriage. And this is how all societies have evolved. And this is how what leads to successful marriage. To just go, by oneself looking for women, even when the process of getting married in with the wanting to get married is completely not allowed, because first off, you cannot do this. You're weak. We are all created weak. A man next to a woman cannot trust himself, cannot think to himself, I'm so good, nothing's going to happen, I'm in control. How would you know that? How would you know that? So you cannot do such a thing. You go to the father like a man. You enter the house through the front door, not the window, not the back door, and you ask, hello, my name is so and so. Do you have a daughter you would like to marry off? I'm a potential suitor. And then you talk about yourself, like in a job interview. You mention you have your whole, qualifications, how good you are as a man, what kind of job you do, how would you be able to watch over the woman, because the women are, we all know that, men are in charge of women, they're the caretakers. So the man is going to be interested in learning about, what could make him trust you. What is it that you have that could, make him say, yes, I agree, I accept, I betroth you my daughter. You have to basically put yourself out, out there. Like when you go look for a job, you basically tell the other, your the one who's about to hire you, your potential boss, how you would benefit the company. In which case, how you benefit his daughter? Would you take care of her? Are you going to help provide for her? Allah is the provider. But do you have a stable job? Do you have a family? Do you have a house? Would you be living off, unemployment benefits? That's not really, that's not gonna earn you a lot of points, right? If this is truly the case. So you basically put yourself out in the open. You basically introduce yourself, talk about yourself, say your name, talk about yourself in general, like you would, you know, any for to do anything. We'll end, we'll end up here for this first part. Please, we'll be back soon for the second part. Thank you for watching. Peace be upon you. Salam alaikum.